Welcome to another episode of The Route. Today we're going to talk about how to make more money in your pest control company. If you're new here, I'm your host, Landon Daines. I've been in pest control for almost 10 years now. Started in 2016 and started my own company in 2021 and then scaled it up. In 3 years, got acquired for 7 figures, and the past 6 or so months been helping other owners do the same thing. Grow their companies, make more money, get better customers, have better systems in place, do everything to have the company that they always dreamed of when they started. And today we want to talk about how to make more money. And right off the bat, when people hear that, when they think about that, most people just think about more customers. And if that's what your mind went to, you are likely operating your company at a suboptimal level and you're missing out on a lot of opportunity. So I'm going to go over several different ways of how you can make more money in your pest control company. A lot of them are simple, a lot of them are overlooked, but if you do all of them or even one of them, it can make a huge impact in your business. So I think of almost everything in business as a lever in your business. And what you want to focus on is which lever can I pull that'll have the most impact. Some levers you pull and it just puts out a fire or it just solves one minor issue and has no real impact on the business. And I think most business owners focus way too much of their time pulling those kind of levers because that's what they're good at. And that's what it's easy to see. It's the easiest things to do. You know, it's like calling that customer back or fixing that piece of equipment or having a conversation with that employee. Like those kind of levers, they're necessary for sure. But most owners and most entrepreneurs, that's all they really know how to do. And so much of their time and energy is spent doing those things. And that's kind of how they get trained of this is what business is. Running a business, managing a business is pulling these kind of levers. But to really grow your business, you want to think about levers that you pull that have more impact and a bigger result than the effort you put into it. Like if I sit down with an employee and talk to them and correct their behavior, I sit down for 30 minutes. That's usually about the result that we get. Or if I fix a spray gun that broke, that's about the same output as the input I put into it. Now there's a more functional spray gun. But that doesn't really impact the business long term. Sure, there's a piece of equipment that my guy can use now and do the service, but it's not impacting what would otherwise happen. So you want to think in ways of what levers can I pull that drastically improve the business? And usually there's 2 or 3 at a time that would do that in your business. And it'll change from time to time. But in terms of making more money, I'm going to go over 5 levers that I would pull in any business, and hopefully at least 1 or 2 or 3 are relevant to you that you can pull in yours. So lever number 1 is pricing. This is the easiest lever to pull and the one that has the biggest and quickest impact because it costs you nothing. So it's pure profit and it can be done immediately. So some levers take a lot of time, some cost money. This has neither. It's pure profit and can be done in like 10 minutes. By the click of a button, all your customers are paying you more. So very simple, raise prices on new customers and raise prices on any current customers that are out of contract. You don't want to break your own contract, so don't do that. But number 1, raise prices. We'll keep that one as simple as it is. Lever number 2, the efficiency of your routes. So when I think of any business, COGS are a big part of pest control. So the cost of goods sold. And in pest control, that's your technician expenses, your fuel expenses, and your chemicals and equipment. And in most pest control companies, those are some big levers you could pull because most people don't know how much they should be spending in that area and they're overspending or the budgets are off. So number 1 is route efficiency. You can make a lot more money in your pest control company by doing 3 things. Number 1, be more flexible with your due dates for your customers. And when I say that, so if I'm looking at the month of August and I'm about to route the month of August, I'm going to pull my customers who are due August 1st through September 15th. So there's an extra half month of customers that I'm going to pull into this pool and then route them because I might have signed up a next door neighbor of a current customer on a different timeline than that current customer. And so all this time they're getting sprayed on different days and different months. And so if I can pull more people into the pool, and sure, customer, let's say Mr. Jones might be due on August 2nd and Mrs. Johnson might be due on September 12th. But they might be 4 houses away from each other. So let's put them on the same route and let's continue to tighten our routes. And if you do that for a quarter or 2, continue to extend the due dates that you're scheduling, your routes will get a lot tighter. And it's one of the smaller levers, but it's one of the ones that if you pull it and continue to pull it, it'll make a big difference in your route efficiency, how many houses your technicians can do per day, even your technician satisfaction because they're not spending so much time just driving house to house. Customers are happier because you're getting there quicker and on time. It makes a huge impact in your business. And then also with route efficiency, use KPIs to track the efficiency. Most people don't do anything with their routes. They just run their routes and come home and, these people I do on the 5th of every month, and these people I do on the second Tuesday of every month, and it's just on repeat. So divide your service area into a few different regions. I recommend 4 to 6 different regions, and then go to each region at least weekly. Hopefully, if you don't have enough customers in a certain region, you might just go like once a month. But if I have 100 customers that I do each month, and let's say I divide them all into say 5 regions, so 20, 20, 20, 20. I'm gonna do 5 per week. So I'll be in each region at least once a week, and that way, let's say on a Friday I get a call and Mrs. Johnson says, "Hey, I need you to come back. You were here at such and such day, but I need another service." I'm gonna check my calendar, and boom, I'm already gonna be back in her region on Wednesday. So, hey, I'll be back there on Wednesday. I'll get you then. Cool. So anytime a customer calls in for a reservice, I'm always going to be back in their area within the next day or 2 or 3. And if you do it that way, reservice drive time will cut way down. And it's not just drive time. I mean, that's fuel expenses that you're saving. That's technician time that you're saving. Not only their time, but what you pay them. So the technician expenses you're saving. Efficiency, more houses you do in a day. So lots of different things you can do there. So track your KPIs with routing. There's route efficiency scores in field routes. There's distance scores in field routes. One that I like to run was number of services per tech hours. So I'd run a report each month and see how many tech hours was on payroll. So let's say 100. 2 different guys each worked 50 hours. Okay, cool. 100 tech hours that month. How many services did we do? So if we did 150 services, I divided 150 divided by 100 tech hours. And that would get me the number of services per hour, which would be about 1.5. We always like being around the 1.4 plus area, but that's just a good number you can run to see how efficient are your routes. And not only your routes, but your meetings that techs might be clocking in for, their drive time home at night, the lunches they're taking, all that time around the houses. I want a majority of my tech's time spent servicing houses. I don't want to pay a guy to, fix equipment or sit in a meeting with me or drive. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to pay a guy for that. Obviously, you have to some degree, but if you can be really efficient, that's one lever you can pull. Another lever is your inventory. So again, this falls under COGS, so chemicals and equipment, and you can save a lot of money and make more money in your pest control company by focusing on your inventory. So a few rapid fire things I would do. Number 1, have one day each week that inventory gets distributed. So have a service manager or you or someone distribute each person's allotment of chemicals and equipment for the week. If you do that, you're going to save money. Number 2, have reorder thresholds. So with everything in your inventory, decide when this inventory or this chemical hits this number of bottles, we reorder. So it's like, okay, when seismic CS, once we get down to 10 bottles, then we reorder 30 or whatever the numbers are for you. And once you do it that way, you're not just reordering randomly. So your product cost is going to improve because you're more efficient there. Shipping costs will go down because you're not doing 10 orders a month. You're doing 1 per month all at the same time. And you'll be way more efficient with chemicals. Do bulk orders as well for the same reason. Shipping costs will go down and you can get discounts for bulk orders. There's rebate programs you can use with most distributors like Viserys, and they'll give you discounts and money back and things for using rebate programs. And then check your chemical mix ratios. Most bottles, most chemicals have like a range, like between this and this ounces per gallons. And maybe for the past 2, 3, 4 years, you've just been doing the same ratio for a long time, and you never checked that. And you could be on the higher end of the ratio, which is good. It's obviously more potent, higher efficiency, but maybe you've been doing the same house for 5 years and there's been no bugs this whole time, and you can go to a lower ratio. So what we did in our business is I cut my ratio way down. We were on the high end, and I went to the very lowest end. And what you want to track is, how does this affect reservices? So look at the last 3 months of reservice numbers. Maybe you're at 8% on average. Cut your chemical mix ratio and then see, does it change? And for us, it didn't, which was amazing. And we saved thousands of dollars in chemicals by doing that. So even if it does change, if it goes up to 9%, okay, is that 1% increase in reservices worth it for how much money you're saving on the chemicals? So several different ways there where you can save money and make more money with your inventory processes. Number 4 lever you can pull is improve collections. And of all the ones I'm covering today, this is likely the biggest one for you. I've talked to dozens and dozens of owners who do not have this process dialed in, and they're missing out on tens of thousands of dollars every single year because of this. So to take a step back, I think it's important to understand that as a business owner, people owe you money. You've done services, you've signed them up, they've agreed to pay you money, and don't be shy about that. A lot of business owners, pest control specifically, I talk to, and they say, "Oh yeah, I did their service, and then they haven't paid me yet, and in 15 days a reminder goes out, and then in 30 days another one goes out, and I don't want to bother them too much. Like I know they'll pay eventually, so like we'll get to them." That's the total wrong way to approach that. Anything else, anything else you've got in the past week or month, think of any product you've bought or service you've received. If you hadn't paid in a couple days since receiving it, that company would be all over you with reminders and text and calls and emails and notifying you and suspending your account or anything. And sometimes we get too timid and scared because we don't want to scare the customer away forever. And so we play the scared game, which in the long run and in the short run just costs us money. So understand that people owe you money, and that's your money to go get. So number one, implement much faster follow-up processes. Don't wait 15 days. Don't wait 30 days. Do it day of. So if a card gets declined, if payment doesn't go through, if you did a service that day and you didn't receive money that day, notification should go out the same day. Email, text, and also a manual phone call. And then boom, the next day, same thing. The next day, same thing. We would do it 3 days in a row. And then after those 3 days, we'd slow down to every 2 or 3 days. Same thing. Email, text, phone call, voicemail if they don't answer. And if you do it this way, you're going to get 80 to 90% of those people, not of all your customers, because most are paying you. Hopefully you're already getting like 85, 90%. But of those 10% who don't pay you consistently, you'll get 80% of them in those first 3 or 4 days. Most people are willing to pay you. They just forget. They get busy. They don't realize their card's on a file. They forget that they haven't updated their subscription with you. And so they'll pay you really quickly. It's just about you being proactive and jumping on that. So be very, very quick with it. And then you want automated and manual. And when you do reach out manually, it's important to have the right verbiage. So the wrong way to go about it is to sound like the kind of guy that is just there to collect money. So we would always lead out with something about the service or about how their last service went, how the technician took care of their house, how are things going. Just check in and be human. And don't be so money focused, and everything will go a lot smoother then. So you call, "Hey, Mr. Jones, just want to check. We saw you got service on Tuesday, so a couple days ago. How'd that go?" "Oh, it was amazing. You did great. Super happy with the job. You guys have been so good the last 2 years. Thank you. Thanks for checking." "Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. By the way, I was just looking over things here. I did see that the payment didn't go through. I just want to check. Did you have a new card you want to put on file with that? Is there an updated payment method you can use?" "Oh, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot. Like my last card had fraud on it, so so sorry. Here it is right here." Boom. Super easy. So you did a quick follow-up. You just communicate with the person and talk to them like they were a person, not like you're just calling, "Hey, your payment didn't go through. We need a new card." Like that'll rub customers the wrong way. So super easy. And then we would always default to give you, money can be a sensitive thing. It can be an emotional or sometimes an embarrassing thing. If a payment doesn't go through, their balance could be low, their card could be maxed out, they could have lost their job. You never know. So we would always give them an easy default. So, "Hey, just want to see, did you get a new card?" I'd always ask that. If their payment didn't go through, I would always ask that, because now, say they maxed out their credit card, or say they just literally can't afford that month, they don't need to, I'm not coming at them that way. So it's a lot easier. "Oh, wait, I did get a new card. Here it is." Or, "Oh, no, sorry, I lost my job." And now they can ease into that. But if I come off kind of threatening, it's going to rub them the wrong way. So more follow-ups, faster follow-ups. Another one you can and should do is require auto pay. Any customer who wants to sign up with us, you're going to be on auto pay. Either credit card or ACH, automatic pull from your checking account. And we won't service house until someone's on auto pay. Monthly billing was also our default. So that makes everything so much easier. People pay you quicker, smaller amounts, more affordable. You can always see if someone's active on their account even before their service is coming up. So many things that are easy there. You want to incentivize your office staff to collect credit cards. So there's probably at least 5 to 10% people in your customer base, probably more, probably 20, 30%, who don't have a credit card on file on autopay. And so we would always tell our office staff, "Hey, for any card you get $5 per card." And for each pay period, I mean, they would get 20, 30 cards per pay period. So that's another $100, $150 on top of their paycheck. So that's great for them. And it's also obviously amazing for the business. If you're getting way more people on auto pay and a card on file, your collections will be through the roof. So incentivize your office staff. That'll get them to go above and beyond and stay on top of things. And then one little minor hack, if there is someone who's way past due, maybe 2, 3, 4 months, and they have a bill just stacking up, like it's $200, and you've tried 3 or 4 times and it's not processing, go into your CRM and just try a smaller amount. Try $50, try $60, something small, and try to get that to go through first. And this is more specifically for the people that are ignoring you, the people that ghosted you and that truly owe you money. Go get the money that you're owed. So a lot of times that smaller amount will go through either because their card and their bank has flagged your account because it's trying to charge a higher number, and so that higher number is never going to go through, or because they just can't afford that higher number. So either of those reasons could be the reason why the charge isn't going through. So if you try a smaller number, boom, $50 goes through. Next week we try 50 again, and then slowly we catch up and they're fully paid up on what they owe us. So there's one way where you can chip away and get more money there. Lastly, the last lever I'd pull, and this one is another huge lever, massive lever, but improving your sales. So your closing, your pricing, your expectations you set. Like, sales is a huge part of your business. Not only with obviously the customers that sign up, but setting their expectations with the customer can be the difference of a customer lasting 3 months versus 3 years. And if you're charging, say, $50 a month, that's 33 months times $50, which is what, $1,500? That's just the way you set expectations can be the difference of $1,500 per customer, at least. So their longevity, also their reservices. It could be the difference between someone asking for 4 reservices a year versus 1. And think of the cost there. So there's so many different things with sales, and it's not just how many people sign up, but even of the people that are signing up, how much are they costing us and how much are they making us? Your sales is a huge part of that. So you need proven sales scripts. You need very clear expectation setting. You need very direct systems and processes of getting a credit card on file, getting a signature for a 12-month agreement, setting expectations of how long the technician will be there, what he'll do, when to call for reservices, what we cover and what we don't. Month 2 or 3, now we upsell them to this because they've been with us for this long, or it's this season, and so now we're going to sell them on termite or mosquito or rodent prevention or anything else. And so sales covers a ton of different things, but making sure, going in right now and thinking about what part of my sales process is broken. There's probably at least 1 or 2 processes or parts of the process that's broken, and fixing one at a time. Don't try to overhaul your whole sales system, because if you try to do it that way, you'll likely decrease your close percentage and everything else. It'll affect you negatively. But if you can just piece together one thing at a time and improve your sales, there's huge impact, huge leverage that can come from that. That'll make you way more money upfront, long term, save you money, everything in between. So I like getting real with the numbers and talking about how exactly this could look. But in scenario 1, before you pull any of these levers, if you're doing $50K a month in revenue, your COGS are $15K. So technician, chemicals, fuel, $15K of cost of goods sold. Your operating expenses is $25K. So that's insurance, rent, marketing, office payroll, software, taxes, licensing, branding, any of that stuff. It's $25K. You're left with $10K profit. So you're riding at 20% profit margins. That's the current state of the business. If we made these tweaks, we raised prices, we improved sales, we improved collections, tightened our routes, implemented inventory management systems, pulled these 5 levers, reasonably you could be looking at, let's say, $65K of revenue. So revenue goes up by $15K. COGS actually stays about the same. So your COGS would be, I'm going to say $16K, because that's the 25% mark that I like being at, to keep you 75% plus gross profit. But again, $65K revenue that came from raised prices, improved sales, and improved collections. Totally reasonable number there. Your COGS goes up $1,000, just barely. But you tighten your routes, you implement inventory management systems, and just be clear, it's going up $1,000, but you're doing way more houses, and there's more things happening. There's more chemicals being ordered. So that one didn't get worse, it got better. Your operating expenses, I'm just gonna say it stays the same. So insurance, rent, marketing, payroll, software, all that stayed the same. We don't even touch that. Pulling these 5 levers, your profit would now be $24K per month, which is 37%. So you make $14,000 more dollars per month and almost doubled the percentage. So you went from 20 to 37. And the reason I like getting tactical with numbers is this just shows where the business would be at going forward. Because it's not just a snap picture right now of what it would be. Oh, cool, you make more money and it's all that. But now that we're at 37% profit margins, now when we get to 100K per month, we make 37K rather than 20K. So that difference just gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you scale, because you're more systematized. You have better systems in place with prices, with sales, with collections, with routes, with scheduling, with reservices. Everything's better. And so if you can do it now, as you scale, the difference just gets bigger and bigger. It's like the analogy of if you if a plane takes off from LA, and I believe it's a 1% difference. If it's en route to go to New York, I believe if the nose of the plane is pointed 1% off from takeoff, it ends up in, I want to say, Florida or something. That analogy could be completely off, but it is several states off. So that 1% difference just from the get-go of the plane taking off puts you in a completely different state when you land. And that's the same idea here with your business. Is you want to get these things right now. Don't wait till later. It might feel like it's a tiny difference. Oh, if I improve my collections processes, it only makes me $100 more this month. Okay, cool. But what about in 4 years when you have 10 times as many customers? What difference will that make? No, it's not $100 a month. It's $5,000 a month. Or, okay, cool. If I tighten my routes and do this, it saves my tech 30 minutes a day. Okay, yeah, it saves one tech 30 minutes a day, but again, in 5 years, when you have 5 techs, that's 2.5 hours a day of technician time. And if you're paying techs 20 hours or $20 an hour, that's $50 a day that you're saving. So it makes a huge difference. So get these things right now. They'll make a huge difference now, but they'll make an even bigger difference in the long run. So pull the right levers in your business. Make sure you're not just putting out fires, but really think about what levers can I pull to scale this business faster, to get more money coming in, to cut costs, to be more efficient. And these are 5 of the biggest levers you can pull to make more money in your pest control company. So that's a wrap for today. If you want more tips on how to do this, follow my page on Instagram. Keep listening to the podcast. Got a YouTube channel as well, pumping out content of how you can make more money, grow your business faster, and hit the goals you want in your pest control business. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.